Heyo, it's JoJo again. Ah, this time I'm going completely off the cuff. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but we're going with it. So this episode, what I forgot what I was calling them. This one is called happiness. Especially because happiness is an elusive thing, just like choices opposite of fear, where it's ever present. Happiness exists. What is happiness? Why is happiness? I've looked way too much into philosophy, but because of that, it's kept me in a weird mindset. Because there is no meaning to life. Because life has meaning only in what you put into it. So life means whatever you want it to mean, which is a blessing and a curse. I am a very codependent person, which I've tried to work on, that I don't rely on others as much. I don't base my life around someone else, where I'm at the center of my life. So happiness is, I don't know, happiness is a very elusive thing for me. Like at times there have been times that I remember like constantly, like I do this a lot. It's a force of habit at this point where I am super happy one moment and like I just kill the happiness immediately the second I turn around from a situation, like I walk away from something. I feel like I have to turn off being happy. And I do this a lot. Like every time, like if I'm hanging out with somebody or a group of friends and I head to my car to leave, if I'm walking away from everyone, turning my back to them, I will immediately go from a smile to immediately just deadpan, not monotone. I don't know, like I lack of emotion throughout my face. Like that goes from a happy smile to just feeling nothing. I just completely extinguish the happiness in me. I, I don't know why I started doing that. I honestly don't. So I've recently tried, like every time I tried it, if I'm conscious of it, every time that happens, I like no, grab hold of that happiness. It's okay to be happy. Why is that such a hard concept? I don't understand why it's like this weird abstract of you you have a right to be happy. Everyone has a right to be happy regardless what you did, because that is something only you can control. You can be in the worst situation possible and still be happy about it. You can Humans can find happiness in the weirdest of places and in the weirdest of situations. It's really weird. But even in the midst of finding the tiny bit of happiness in things, some people can also find the opposite, find sorrow and I don't know what is the opposite of happiness, because the opposite of happiness is not anger. It's not being mad, because oftentimes when you're happy you can transition directly to being mad because of happiness. I don't know, the lack of emotion, just melancholic, I guess. I don't know. It's some people, instead of finding the happiness in things in a happy situation, they can find the worst of it. Our minds tend to flow towards the worst. And the past few days, like that's all my mind's been flowing towards. Everything has felt like it's failed. Everything I've tried, everything that I've tried to line up has failed the past few days, which is not the case. It's not true. Some of it is, but it's not entirely true. But I keep wrapping my head around the negative, so I'm unable to process the happiness that I should be feeling. It's a cycle, and I recently fell back into it. I had a month of goodness, as a quote from Deadpool is like, life is very sad with brief commercials of happiness or something like that. Um, so, but that's not true. Your viewpoint on the world changes everything. I know that, and I still can't fight it. So I wish I could be one of those motivational speakers. It's like, oh yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and be just as happy when I walk off stage. I can't do that. I know what the interpretation. I know what I should be able to do. I'm just trapped at. I'm trapping myself, and I'm aware of that. I'm keeping the happiness from myself. I literally have a habit of where, okay, everything is going smoothly. What's the best thing I can do to royally mess this situation up? It may not be what I'm thinking right then, but it's so ingrained in me that I'm hurting, so I need to hurt others. And I really need to change that. It it dampens my happiness. But when I'm not happy, that's what I tend to do because I feel like I'm going to get happiness. When reality is, I'm going to get some happiness. I'm going to get a lot of self-hate as well, not just the happiness part. I don't know. Happiness is elusive, and the things that once caused you happiness sometimes don't cause you happiness, or you're too engrossed in yourself to even think of the happiness. It's one of the self-fulfilling prophecies. The more you think life sucks, the more life sucks. The more you think life is all rainbows and roses, the more life is rainbows and roses, because it's the concept of whatever's on your mind, you're going to see more of. Like a lot of people, like for instance, if someone bought a new Mustang or Ford Fusion or whatever car, I don't know cars, but this is an example I'm going with. If someone buys a brand new Ford Fusion, they're going to see more Ford Fusions on the road because they are now more aware of it, more attuned to it. Same with that different mindset. Our brains are programmed to see the things that we want to see. And if you just want to keep living in that, you may not want to, but you're just stuck in it because you don't know how to change it. Or you've just given up. Giving up. Can't give up. Don't give up. It's mainly me talking to myself. Don't give up. Chase the happiness. Happiness is ever elusive. But if you want to be happy, be happy. Which is like one of the most stupidest things to say. Like, oh, okay, yeah. You don't want to be sad? Stop being sad. You want to be happy? Just be happy. Well, that's kind of true. Just be happy. Which sounds like a load of horse manure. And it partially is, and it's partially true. Like, I don't know. I find it hard, but there's these times where if I just let everything completely stop, I just stop thinking about whatever it is, and I let somebody else take the reins for a moment because I'm not strong enough to swap my mindset, and so I let somebody else take the reins. I'm just like, okay, I'm just not going to think for like a minute. I'm going to do my best to just clear out my mind and let somebody else like take the reins of my life to help give me that jump start. Your battery's dead. You gotta stop. Stop the negativity. I don't know. That's a bad analogy, but your battery's dead, and you gotta use somebody else to jump the battery. And so you do your darndest to keep your mind empty for those few moments where you just let them grab it. But don't trick yourself into thinking that your mind is empty when you're holding down to the negatives. No, when I mean empty, I mean state of nirvana. Nothing. Just nothing in your mind, which is very hard. I spent several years trying to do it. But because of that, it's easier for me to let people jumpstart if I am consciously aware, which is one of the weird things because you don't get to control when you're consciously aware of it or not, which is the worst part of this. But once you are consciously aware, you can struggle. You can struggle really hard to maintain hold of it. And you just gotta hold on to that happiness like it's a bass on the reel of your line, and you're just struggling like it's gonna break the line, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna use my finesse, my techniques. I don't know how to fish. I'm gonna finesse the line. I'm gonna make sure it doesn't snap. I'm gonna hold on for dear life, um, kind of thing. And you just hold on to it because the second you let go, you don't know when you're going to come back to, which is scary, super scary. So that's the reason why you gotta hold on to the happiness as much as you can. Some people like talking to people. Some people just need to relax, have time to themselves. Everyone has their own different thing that makes them happy. Which is, there's no manual. This is not, you can't look up a specific model number for yourself and be like, oh, okay, here's the exact tips and tricks how to do this. It's about experimentation. You gotta experiment. Find out what attributes you have, what all helps you tick. And if you can't do it on your own, talk to a counselor. If you don't want to talk to a counselor, talk to friends. If you're struggling being happy, let somebody know. Don't let go of the happiness though. Don't think happiness is never going to come again, because that is the biggest line of horseradish to give anyone, is that happiness is going to be gone forever. I'll never be happy again. Wrong. That's giving up. Don't let go of the happiness. You gotta hold on. You gotta grab the horns of the bull that's charging right at you. Be like, oh yeah, give it to me. I'm ready. And just grab on. It may kill you, but who cares? You're gonna be happy. You're gonna grab that bull. That's a terrible analogy. Oh man, I don't know. Just hold on, hold out. Look for happiness. I don't know, this is my strategy, my rambling on happiness, my different viewpoints and whatnot. I'm not sure how I ended the last one, but flip flop, the house is hot. Goodbye.